my channel. My name is Cassie, and this is going to be my February wrap-up video. Which, surprise, I actually read some books in February, whereas in January it was mostly just kind of manga. I actually did read some books in February, and unfortunately I gotta get rid of my jacket, or not my jacket, my blanket, because I gotta use my other hand. It's a little chilly in my house right now. It's like it's in a spot in the outside weather where one day it is really hot out, and so you turn the air on, and then the very next day it's cold out, and then you have to turn the heat on. And today is one of those days where yesterday it was hot, and so today it's cold. So yesterday, last night, I turned on the air, and then today it's cold out, and so it's like I should turn on the heat, but I don't want to because I think tomorrow is going to be on the warmer side of the spectrum again. So I'm just being stubborn. I'm like, no, I'm just keep my air on. But I might turn my heat on here in a little bit because it is getting a little chilly. But anyway, let's get into my February wrap up. So I read 4 books in February, and then 40% of another book. And I'm going to put that book on here as well, and we're just going to make it 5. So I read 5 books in February. Goodness. So, first book that I read was Dungeons and Drama. There we go. Dungeons and Drama is the first book that I read. And this is by Christy Boyce. And I have to say, it's YA fantasy, or not YA fantasy. It is a YA rom-com. I got fantasy on the brain because I've been reading that here this month. And so some of it was a little irritating, but not overly so. So I gave it 4 stars. And it is about a girl that does something that she shouldn't, and part of her punishment is that she has to work at her dad's game store. Well, this, because of this punishment, and all, she doesn't get to hang out with friends or do anything after school, and she's like really into musicals, and there's something happening at school with the musical, and she's really wanting to work on the musical, but she can't, not really, without getting in trouble. And so it's kind of her helping someone at the game shop, and them helping her. In a roundabout way, I'm not really sure. But it's it's really interesting. You get to see D&D being played, which I was happy about. I like D&D, and then of course there's musicals, which also made me happy. So yeah, I gave Dungeons and Drama 4 stars. I was really happy with that. And then I decided to get on this Elsie Silver train. And I wanted to try one of her books. And so I tried Flawless, which is the first book in a Chestnut Springs novel. So, Flawless is what I read first. Gave this one a 4 star. If I remember correctly, this is kind of about a guy that does rodeo. He does something, and I think he has all reason to do so, but that's me. But anyway, it gets him kind of in a little bit of trouble with how people see him when it comes to because he's a famous rodeo person. So whatever that word is, I can't think of it right now. And so in order to kind of help him stay in a good lane, his publicist, I guess, assigns his daughter to have to look after him, kind of babysit him, essentially. And it kind of goes from there. Wasn't the best rom-com that I've read. If it is a rom-com, I don't think it is. I think it's more like a romance drama, which is really not my cup of tea. I like rom-coms. I don't mind rom-coms, but romance drama is not usually my cup of tea. It's a little bit too serious for me. Like something bad actually happens somewhere, whether it was in the past or not, and just kind of I want my romances to be kind of funny and not too disturbing in that nature. But anyway, um, I gave it 4 stars. I don't mind the cowboy like romance type situation, but I do think that when it comes to rom coms, that I do kind of like the Allie Hazelwood rom coms or um, the paranormal rom coms. I don't know if those exist, but those come to my head, or something like what is the dead guy in my closet by Lucy Score type romances, or no, other way. No, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Anyway, Mercy Thompson is up there, on the very top shelf, on the very one side. Those type of paranormal like romances. Um, I didn't mind some of the hockey ones that I've read. Some of the hockey rom coms that I've read. I don't think that I mind like some of the sports ones that I've read. Um, I think the only thing that I didn't really, I think this was what's getting me is that this is like more of a romance drama, and so that just wasn't really vibing with that. It wasn't bad, but I wasn't vibing. So I gave that one a 4 star. Then I read finally. Took me forever to get to it, but I read Leather and Lark by Bryony Weaver, which I should probably actually take these books down. It would make things easier, but I'm lazy. I don't wanna. So Leather and Lark by Bryony Weaver. I gave this 4 stars. And it's not that I didn't like it. I did. The only thing is that I feel like Butcher and Blackbird, I feel like had more chemistry. Maybe I don't know. They did more together. They like did the whole murdery thing more. Like I don't think that there was a lot of that going on in this book. I feel like there was less of the whole murdery thing than there was in book one, and that kind of made book one more fun to me, especially when they did it together. There was more like together going on. Um, so I gave that a 4 star. Um, Not to say I didn't like it. I did. I just didn't think that compared to book one that it was like a 5 star. Um, Next, I read The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. I'll get it right eventually, guys. Maybe. I don't know. I might not. There we go. So I read The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. And I gave this a 5 star. It was my first. I think this is my first 5 star read of the year. I really enjoyed it. It's about this fake girl that she's part of one kingdom. I think there's like several of them, and there was a war for one reason or another, and one of them kind of gets locked away in their own little realm, which is part of the sea. And before they get locked away, though, she like makes contact with the heir, and they form like kind of a connection in a way. And so, like, the first thing he decides to do when something happens is he's going after her. Not in like a completely like bad way, but It is considered a dark romantasy. It was not as dark as I thought that it was going to be, but it is considered a dark romantasy. Um, but I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I gave it 5 stars. And I can't wait to read the next one, which I think is the Ever Queen. I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure. Um, and then the one that I read 40% of in February, and then 60% of this month. But we're just gonna throw it on to my February one, since it's a halfie. Is Force Bonds by J. Bree. So this one, yeah. I gave this 5 star, so another 5 star read. If I don't know, this is the 4th book in the series. There are 6 books in the series, and so the first one is Broken Bonds. I have it over here. Broken Bonds. So it's about this girl that has been running away from her bonds for a couple of years. Because something that happened, and she feels like she is protecting them by doing so. But, after 5 years on the run, I'm caught and drive back to face the men I ran away from. And so now she's got to deal with her bonds and getting close to them, and also trying to protect them from what she was running away from and why she was running away from what she was running away. So, I think I've given every book, all 4 books that I've read so far of this series, 5 stars. I have loved it. It is a why choose. It is considered a dark romantasy book. This one, I want to say, is kind of like a bully. It's mostly in book 1 with the bully romance. It doesn't translate too much further into the rest of the series. But yeah, book 1 is definitely bully. But it does definitely go mostly away from book 2 and 3 and 4. So yeah, 5 stars. So those are the 5 books that I read in February. As of this moment, it is March 9th, and I have 4 other books under my belt for March. Because the what is it called? Realmathon. It is Realmathon this month. And Realmathon is Realmathon is a month-long readathon that Cassidy from Books of Cassidy puts on every year. This is her 4th year doing it. It is not too late to join. You can still join. All you gotta do is pick a team. And you can attack other teams by deducting points based on what you read. You can defend your team by adding points to your team based on what you read. It's a lot of fun. So if you would like to participate, I'm going to put her announcement down in my description, so you can kind of check that out. But that is my February wrap up. So if you like this video, like it, and if you want to see more by me, subscribe. And next video, I think it's going to be a book haul, because I've got a lot of books.